Hey guys, time for some Trekyards breaking news. I'm Captain Foley.
Yes, you're. I'm Commander Cockins. I was going to say Captain there, but I've been demoted. I mean, that's an in-joke. Commander Cockins say.
Anyway, yes, I've made a discovery about Star Trek Discovery.
3 discoveries.
We've all done this. Yes, there's been some casting news. One's been a few days that we've known, and the other one just happened, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, Michelle Yeoh was leaked a few days ago, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's probably most." Everyone was reporting it, so it's presumably official. But I think we were both waiting to get some more than a single person. So this is great to hear 3, and hopefully that will alleviate a lot of people's fears that it's not even being made. It's like no, a lot of it's raring to go, but this is the first 3. So, what do you not going to get a bundle? But what do you think about the announcement and who they've picked then?
Everybody seems fine. I mean, the 2 of them one I really know.
Okay.
Michelle Yeoh, I kind of know a little bit. I know 1 or 2 movies she's been in, but not a huge follow of her acting career. But let's talk about her first.
Okay.
So she's apparently, from what I've read too, she's not going to be a human. She's going to be an alien species of some kind, a new alien species, and she's going to be a captain, but not of the Discovery.
Yes, it's Captain Georgiou of the starship Shinzu. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so don't know what kind of role that'll be. If it'll be just kind of a occasional appearance every now and then, or if she's going to be a main player kind of every episode. I don't know. I would assume not. I would assume she'd just be like somebody that comes and helps out every once in a while.
An alien as well. That's interesting because the Doug Jones is going to be playing Alien. We hear. Where did you hear that she'll be playing Alien?
Yeah, I saw that. Well, I read it yesterday on Facebook, I believe. So its validity is kind of. But I thought I'd mention it at least because I was interested that she was actually going to be playing an alien. But yeah, reading now, I can see that.
And my gut would be that why not make a lot of the captains just sort of semi-alien in the sense like rather than having all the heroes be fully human, give them the ears, give them nose ridges, give them even just be a Bajoran captain. It's wrong time period for that obviously, but rather than being a full human Starfleet, it's a hugely diverse thing. But I like that it's another starship. It might be the Excelsior of that universe, the friendship that comes and helps. But I mean, it's a big, wide galaxy, and so I didn't like the people say, "Oh, should be the captain of Discovery." It's like there's more than one ship. There's going to be more than one ship. I mean, it's a big, wide world, so it's interesting, and I wonder how many, I mean, in a Star Trek, as it were, throughout the galaxy, they're trying to create this big, giant world. You think about how many shows have just those recurring characters from different teams or different whatever, depending on what the show is. Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you have, if you're out there at the edge of the galaxy doing something, well, of course, your equivalent to that would be starships, and you'd talk to the captain, so it'd make a lot of sense, and why not? It's a great idea.
Well, what interests me is the fact that it's a new alien species, apparently, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that might be and adding to that Star Trek mythos. So.
Which takes us into Doug Jones also playing a brand new alien and a Starfleet science officer. And obviously, you wouldn't recognise him per se because he plays mostly make-up people, which means I know of him vaguely, and I recognise, Googling his face, I recognise a couple of the aliens, and I know he's well respected for that. So that presumably, obviously, it's like you hire the guy that played Gollum, you hire him because of his very good techniques at doing, facial expressions, which comes over in the CG when you make a CG model. So obviously you're using that as experience to go towards that. What do you think about him being cast?
Well, it's funny that he's cast because he's one of my wife's favorite actors
wow.
Actually, for his role in Hellboy and stuff like that. He is good at playing under prosthetics. Mm-hmm. He also starred in Pan's Labyrinth, which is, if you've seen it, it's kind of freaky and weird. He plays the guy with the eyes in his hands. So I was excited to see that he was cast, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do because he does some very great work.
Yeah, I haven't seen Hellboy, I haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth. I've only seen Buffy, where he played a guy that didn't speak. So I mean, at the end of the day, none of these 3 people I have any sort of excitement for because they're just actors. I mean, there's literally millions of actors out there. Unless they're going to cast, Will Smith or Tom Cruise, who I know dozens of their work, I always think, and not to sound negative, but they're casting people based on the characters, sorry, and who they think's best for them, and that's the point. So you won't know if they're good or not until once we see the show and see if they fit the role.
Yeah, it's very typical for Star Trek though to cast unknowns, and well, not relatively unknowns. Usually they're stars on Broadway or on the stage, which actually kind of leads in perfectly to the next guy, Anthony Rapp, who's actually starring on Broadway in the show Rent. So yeah, they usually pull in people that nobody's really heard of beforehand, but afterwards, of course, they're propelled to stardom because of Star Trek. So that's interesting. I always love kind of finding out about new actors and stuff, because there's been some great ones in Star Trek history, you got to admit.
And one of the nice things about using unknowns, or at least new actors like the new Star Wars, all the actors, the main ones are pretty much unknown. Therefore, you really do go in seeing them as those characters, as opposed to if you suddenly brought in, like I said, Will Smith. You watch the new Suicide Squad. Is that Jay from Men in Black? There's a little bit of that coming over. So obviously these people, for me, I don't really know any of their work. So it's good having those sorts of unknowns. Whereas if you even brought in Ian McKellen, it's like, I was thinking Patrick Stewart there, but Ian McKellen, it's like, well, you can't exactly take away from all of those roots, all that amazing stuff. And obviously Broadway is good because that's a shows some acting chops, but again, there's lots of theatre. So these people, it's nice that they're showing that they've got some support. And I like actually telling us the character names. It doesn't help very much, but it tells us a little bit. And it's nice they're not being as secretive as they could be. Like, this is who they are. This is who they play. Take that as you will.
So Anthony Rapp's character's name is Lieutenant Stamets. And he's an astromycologist, which...
Astromycologist.
Yes.
Fungus expert.
Yes, expert on space mushrooms. Which is the kind you eat and hallucinate.
And he's the first officer on Discovery confirmed, which is interesting because that's a strange role to have. A fungus expert, astromycologist. That's a very, very specific skill set. And while a lot of officers are good at lots of different things, what does that imply, do you think?
I was just mulling that over as I first read this. It's almost like Discovery has a very specific mission role, and that's discovery. They're going out to planets, and their away teams are very specialized, studying the fungus and whatever of the planet or whatever. So that's kind of the vibe I get, but I don't know. It just seems like an odd title to have to be a main character. But then again, this show isn't really focusing on...
They haven't said he's a main character. They're just
true enough.
Actors cast. Like, we know this other Starfleet captain is not a main character. So why would you assume he is? Just because he's on Discovery?
Good question.
If everything takes place on a ship. I mean, it's like saying the Bolian in TNG that was in 2 episodes. He's been cast. It's like, he's a barber. Okay, great, he's a main character. No.
This guy could be the Lieutenant Kyle from TOS, that's in 4 or 5 episodes, makes it to Star Trek 2, serving on the Reliant. A background player, but one that's kind of always there. We didn't mention Doug Jones' character name. His character name is Lieutenant Saru. Saru sounds very familiar to me for Star Trek, actually. I don't know why. I'm picturing somebody in a blue skin.
That's actually a good name. I quite like that. But and it's interesting why they pick a new alien. I mean, it's like the new Star Wars. They almost all new aliens. It's like there's literally dozens, hundreds of good ones. Why pick a new one? So if there's a really good reason for a new alien, that's fine. But why not be an Andorian or a Tellarite? Well, not necessarily Tellarite. They're a bit aggressive. Although I guess at this point, everything's sort of the beta stages of our relationship with them. The Federation's not very old. But having a brand new species, does that mean they're part of the Federation? Are they a new part? Are they old? Maybe that's part of the tension. Maybe that maybe people are racist against him because he's only part of the Federation for a year. That'd be interesting to create that dynamic. Maybe he's a spy. Maybe he's very bad at his job. Maybe he's a genius. There's always variations.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what new species they are. Whether Michelle Yeoh will be one or not, I'm not sure. Like I said, I read that yesterday, but I haven't been able to I haven't really looked much for it since. But we're just getting little tidbits here and there coming in, and we did kind of want to wait till we knew a little bit more. Hopefully there'll be more casting news soon for you guys. But I think we've kind of touched the tip of the iceberg now. We know they're going ahead with this, so don't worry, guys.
Yes, and it'll be interesting to know if any you know, at least in my circles, known actors. You know, anyone from Battlestar, from Stargate, from Babylon 5, from Farscape. It'd be great to see, you know, a few of those other sci-fi legends in some form come back, or if they're going to be not unknowns, because all these people clearly are known by somebody, but certainly in the sci-fi world, apart from Doug Jones, but you know, less of a thing. So it'd be interesting if everyone is like, it's like you're going to a show without, like, Scott Bakula being an Enterprise was the excitement of, that's such a cool, you know, this is gonna be fun.
Yes.
And if you just have unknowns, then you'll go in thinking it's just another show, which can be good, obviously, because then you go in and can enjoy it for what it is. Whereas if they did hire some, you know, it's like bringing Ben Browder on Stargate, right? You know, the 9th season, so it's just perfect casting, and you have all the excitement of it being, you know, John Cryan from Farscape. So it's interesting that they're not, like, I'd love to see Ben Browder or some other famous people from sci-fi in it and join the universe. But we'll see. Three characters out of what will likely be a dozen or more of main and side and even tertiary. So if they're doing this maybe, you know, once every 2 weeks, that'd be kind of fun. That'd be good timing, or we could not hear anything for ages. But hopefully we'll hear some names and we can be really excited about a few of them.
I think in the next leak might be more about what the ship looks like now, or something. Who's working behind the scenes? Maybe it'd be cool to kind of find out other information than just main actors.
I'd like to go, you know, into the writers' room and the press room and say, right, what is their actual strategy here for press releases? Like, when are we going to get this stuff? When are we going to see the final version of Discovery and some of these other ships? It's like, I want to see. Give me the information. Show me the communicator, for God's sake. Show me the phaser.
Yeah, exactly. Props like that would be awesome too. They're being very strategic on how they're releasing things, which I like, but I don't like at the same time.
Although, Stuart, we did see the captain's chair.
Oh, forever ago, I forgot all about that.
We did see and it was fine.
Looked cool, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's it for today's little breaking news Trekyards bulletin. You gotta have stuff like scrolling on the bottom here. No? Okay. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your comments about what you think about these actors, what you think their roles might be, you know, how they fit into the storyline. I mean, a mushroom expert, guys. Come on. So, comments, questions, all that down below, please. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel.
Yeah. And just get excited, guys. This is it's nice. It's good to hear stuff, because Star Trek is coming. New Star Trek is coming, so just get excited for that. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, until something new and exciting happens, or until our regular shows that you are probably sick of by now, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Gunnar Coggins.
See you next time, everybody.
Bye, guys.